program. This is Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com. That's the big website. That's the one everybody's dialing it up to, seeing where all the activities that are going on, all the classes that are being taught. Or you can give it a call, 651-775-9194, 651-775-9194. Give Sheila a ring-a-ling-a-ling, and she'd be happy to have a chat with you about your health and wellness needs. Steer you in the right direction. She's not a doctor, but a lot of doctors call her and ask her for advice. 651-775-9194. This is Our Healthy Homes. Our Healthy Homes, the 4 pillars of a healthy home. That's the basis of the conversation. The first pillar, of course, is the house, the structure. Got to have a good house in a nice neighborhood, quiet, tree-lined streets. And we talk about the ecosystem, what's going on inside the house, what products are you using? Are you poisoning your family, or are you giving them nice, good products? And we talk about your body, same thing. Are you treating yourself well? You getting some exercise, getting good sleep, using good nutrition, all of that, using safe products on your body, applying it to your biggest organ that you have, your skin. And then the fourth pillar, of course, is your emotional and spiritual well-being. Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com. Sheila was gone last week to the big convention in Salt Lake City, Utah. Played in a pickleball tournament. Got straight blown out in the first round.
Well, it wasn't really the first round.
Okay.
But we got teamed up with 5.0s, which I didn't think was, it is what it is.
You signed up for the expert thing.
I did.
Thought you were pretty good
it was
going out there.
Low
Boom,
intermediate. All
boom.
Right. So anyway, you mentioned sleep. Mm-hmm. Sleep is so important for people. And, of course, if I don't get my sleep, then that's when I get sick. Mm-hmm. And I just need 7 hours. You can deal with 5. So speaking of sleep, I had a little trouble sleeping on the convention. My roommate snored heavily, and so I was blessed enough to be able to go room with another gal, so that I could get my sleep. And it was ironic that I'm not sleeping, and 2 new products that they brought out are for sleeping.
Oh.
So there's a lot of people that take melatonin. A lot of people don't want to take melatonin anymore. And so one of our new properties, or our new sleep products, does not have any melatonin in it.
Okay.
So it's one of those products.
So liquid, 90 proof.
Yeah, no. Right, no. So because
drink
of
a full
yeah,
tumbler
right,
full,
right,
and
right,
then
yeah, ha. So because of the magnesium and things that are in there, and the essential oils, they did educate us that it takes a couple weeks for the body to be able to build that up, kind of like the CBD, and then you'll sleep like a baby. And we had some great introductions and new products with a phytonutrient drop, and I would love to have a conversation with you in person about that, along with
phytonutrient.
It's a phytonutrient. It's a
so
liquid.
For dogs?
No.
Not phyto.
No.
Okay.
Not that phyto.
Different kind
a different
of phyto.
Right. Right.
Right.
Exactly. Yep. And so with that, we always have the opportunity to talk to the scientist in the corner. And not what he says on stage, but we can pull him in the corner and have a real conversation with him. And so I want to have that real conversation with you, because this is life-changing, the phytonutrient liquid, along with our deep spectra frankincense ×2 essential oil. So it's a whole new process of distilling, and like you've heard all these 10x it, it's
kicking it up a notch.
Right. It's distilling oils in a different way that has not been done before. And this is 2x the frankincense. And if anybody knows about frankincense, we always like to say it supports your DNA. And so it is a conversation that I'm excited to have. And we are looking to have those conversations in the home. And if you want to invite me into your home, or you want to come to my home for any of our table talks, I would love to have you. Check the website, ourhealthyhomes.com. Click on the events tab. The summer's been hard, right? Because everybody goes to the cabin and everybody's off school. So we haven't had as many in-person events as we'd like to. But the next one is August 8th. And that is, we are going to talk about discomfort. How many of us wake up, bent over, and, throughout the day we feel a little glitch here and there and a little discomfort here and there. And so you are actually going to get to experience the products that we are going to help you with depending on
What are you going to have?
Oh gosh, we're going to have, well, I'll have the deep spectra, but we'll have the Coolazopane cream, we'll have the peppermint oil, we'll have the Panaway, we'll have the wintergreen. We'll have a lot of products there because it works differently on people. Like your body likes tea tree, my body likes Melrose. They do the same thing, but that's just what you like. All right, the recent injuries from the pickleball. I always use Deep Relief, but my body has liked peppermint for these certain, I'm not going to say injuries because I don't want to label it, but I call them foofas. They're just a temporary discomfort that I was dealing with. And so we can't forget about the pickleball retreat that we're having. So that's a pampering retreat coming up the weekend of August 16th. Again, go to ourhealthyhomes.com and click on the events tab. We are bringing back the how to reduce your blood sugars naturally because 80% of Americans are pre-diabetic, and we really need to get a handle on this. And it's probably one of the most attended table talks that we have because I think it relates to so many people. And so I have Catherine who teaches that one. I don't teach that one. That's her specialty. That's the end of August 27th. But reach out to me because I would love to host something for you, your friends, or meet with you one-on-one. I do that a lot, and we go through making a plan for your health journey. We try to track it out for about a year. And I met a gal, 33, a couple weeks ago, and she got a little cancer scare. And so we are going to dive.
She was 33 years old.
She's 33.
Okay.
She's 33. She had a little cancer scare, so we are going to go through, and they thought it was cancer, and then it wasn't cancer. And so she's like, okay, that was enough to alarm me to say, what do I need to do? Because we always say we change our oil in our cars, but we don't change our oil in our body. We have to detox and flush and get these environmental toxins, and like you spoke about, the toxins that we use from our everyday products that we put on our skin and so forth. So I'm working with her. I've had a success story. A lot of times rosacea can be from parasites. And so I had a gal that reached out to me, and she said, I've had rosacea for so long. We did a couple of cleanses. We did the parasite cleanse, and she is just so happy about how red her face isn't. And so she feels much better because it's about how you look. And that is just so rewarding. And we're going to keep going down the track with some other things.
And that's looking good from the inside out. That's
exactly. Yeah. And today I'm so excited because just like that rosacea, looking good and feeling good from the inside out, you won't believe Lisa and what her passion is with her job. And so she's going to share that with us today. And you want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you first. We got about a minute.
Thank you so much. My name is Lisa Hittner. I'm the owner of Opulent Salon, Minnesota, right here in Eagan, Minnesota. Where do I start? I always look at Andrea here. I brought Andrea with me. She's in charge of a lot of my marketing and meetings, and her and I kind of pound the pavement, letting people know what we do. So I actually create realistic wigs. And what I found is in the state of Minnesota, there just isn't anybody doing what I'm doing. So I actually am expanding my business this year larger because the demand has been so high for this type of a service.
So when you say realistic wigs, what's that mean?
Yeah, so what that means is, there's people that customize wigs, and you can buy wigs online and all that kind of stuff, but there's some good ones and there's some really bad ones, and there's
costume wigs.
I mean, there's costume wigs too, yes, but I don't do costume wigs.
Yeah.
So what I was finding was for my clientele, the people that were suffering from different, types of hair loss, they weren't able to find something that felt like themselves and felt natural and felt very real. And so it kind of brought me down this rabbit hole of, searching for answers that were really, made people feel empowered.
Thanks for staying with us. This is Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com, 651-775-9194, the 4 pillars of a healthy home. You read about them all there. 651-775-9194. Give Sheila a ring-a-ling-a-ling, and she'll be happy to have a chat with you and get you going in the right direction. Okay, we got Lisa and Andrea here. I had this wig. I've worn it many times because I like to have this hairy chest. So I got this wig that, kind of creaks up through the hairy chest, gets Sheila all turned on. But we're talking,
you lucky woman.
We're talking about
I'm
something
very lucky.
different now. We're talking about head hair, realistic wigs. Andrea's wearing a wig. Are you wearing a wig right now?
Yep.
So if you're looking on YouTube, check it out. This is a wig, not her real hair.
It's crazy.
So do you have hair underneath that, or
I do.
You do.
I do,
Okay.
yeah.
So I'm always curious about this. This is like off topic here already. Down a squirrel hole we go. But we watch. Our granddaughter had a dance recital, and it was like a little play. What was the name of the play? The Addams Family.
Oh yeah.
And Morticia, is out with this long black hair. I thought it was the gal's hair.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then she came out like in a different dance routine with her like real hair, and I didn't recognize her. And Sheila's jamming. She said, "That's Morticia. That's Morticia." Really? And then 2 seconds later, she's back out with the long black hair again. So how do you do it when you've got like Sheila's got a head of hair on her that is thick?
Yeah.
Big heavy head of hair. If she wanted to be, let's just say, I'm thinking outside the box here. I'm thinking blonde or maybe redhead. Just for
I don't even dye my hair either,
just for
so
a
it's
night,
never
I'm
gonna happen.
thinking.
All right, just for a
So
night.
how would
just for a
that?
night.
How do you get it all like smashed down
Yeah.
so that it's?
I wonder though too, did she come out with just a different color wig maybe in between?
I don't know.
Maybe it wasn't even her natural hair.
I don't know.
She might have it all.
Could be.
It could have been
look
just a
at
whole
you.
different
Good one.
wig.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
A lot of times what people will do, there's different things you can do. You can put it all back in like a low pony, pin it down. A lot of people will like take different clips and stuff, like a clip that I'm wearing today, kind of clip it down flat. There's wig caps. There's all different sorts of things that you can put.
Double-sided
nets
tape.
and stuff. Maybe double-sided tape. No, actually, you don't need that if you have a good wig.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So there's you don't need adhesive.
No.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Wow.
No, so the wigs that I do are meant to be very comfortable. And they're meant just to go on your head. They sit nice and snug. You can wear what's called a wig grip, which will help, give it a little bit more grip to it. But they're actually glueless wigs and super comfortable. Some of them have silicone in them for people that maybe don't have their own bio hair or things like that.
Oh, because if you don't have your own hair, it needs something to.
It might need something to kind of,
hang
on to. Yep. So like clients of mine that are going through cancer, I have 2 different types of caps that they can order, and some of them have silicone. So like one of my current clients, she's going through breast cancer and has full hair loss, and so she ordered my specialty cap that has the silicone and some of the extra little things and frills in it to help secure it a little bit better.
So you are I don't know if this is like the right word nowadays, but hairdresser, is that right? Is that still the right terminology?
You know what? I get
or
called
whatever?
all sorts of things. So, we're all good.
Okay. So you are a hairdresser, and that's where you started.
Yes.
And you then moved into wigs and extensions.
Yep.
And why did you move into, but you still do all 3. You do extensions, you do wigs, and you do hair.
Yeah, well, I've been a hairstylist for over 25 years.
Okay.
Or I mean,
whatever. Okay.
Honestly, I think I still get beauty operators sometimes too. I mean, that's a really old one.
Beautician.
Okay. All right.
Beautician.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been a hairstylist for over 25 years, and I always had a fascination. Well, I've always had a fascination with wigs. I grew up with a grandmother that wore wigs from the time she was younger than me, in her 40s. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And so
Just for kicks?
no, she did not have very nice hair.
Okay.
She had pretty thin hair. She was a farm lady. And so, you know,
Wow.
in between milking the cows and doing that stuff, they'd go out or go dancing or
Sure.
whatever they were doing with my grandpa, and she'd throw on her wig and she was ready to go in a couple seconds. So
Wow.
it was nice. So I grew up helping her with her wigs. And I always had a fascination for hair extensions. And so the salon that I started at first, I wasn't really able to transition into that. So I ended up going out on my own and just started learning how to do hair extensions. And a few years ago, I actually certified and specialized with a brand called Invisible Bead Extensions.
And that's a whole nother
Yeah.
world and market, and I don't get that either.
Yeah.
But I've never had a hair
Well,
problem.
it's not that
right?
you don't get it. I mean, I just don't understand why they don't fall out.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. There's so many different methods. And in the state of Minnesota, I don't know if this goes for the whole United States, but hair extensions, wigs, braiding, all that stuff is an unregulated service.
Breeding?
Braiding.
Oh, braiding. I thought
Yep.
you said breeding. I thought,
Braiding.
oh,
Yeah. I mean,
this
there's
hair business is getting...
I know there's a lot. There's a lot to get us girls looking gorgeous every day. But it's an unregulated service, so it's kind of a wild west out there, and anybody can just, you know, pick up anything or watch a YouTube video, and the next day they can be like, hey, I can do hair extensions on you. And so what I have found is a lot of people have what's called traction alopecia, and they have damage from all the tension of these extensions from so
course.
many years.
Yeah.
So when I found the method of hair extensions that I specialized in, it took me 2 years to learn how to do this
Wow.
method and be certified, and probably around $20,000 to learn how to do it. So
do many people know how to do that? Have many?
it's
been
getting more and more popular in the state of Minnesota. I want to say there's maybe 10 to 15 of us now in the whole state. I was one of the original people that certified in this method. And this method is all about the health of the hair and the health of the scalp, and being able to wear hair extensions without it damaging your natural hair.
So when if a girl goes in and puts it, or a guy goes in and puts on, I don't want to be discriminatory. Heaven
Right.
forbid.
Yup.
Heaven forbid.
Yep.
Be canceled. Okay,
Yeah.
so someone goes in and has extensions put in. Can you sleep in them, or do you have to wear a separate?
Absolutely.
Do you have to wear a hat or something when you sleep, or
There's-
somehow care for it?
Yeah, that's a really good question. There are a few different things that you have to do differently. A lot of times people will you should just sleep on a satin or silk pillowcase anyways.
Oh.
It's good for your skin and all of that, but it's really good
cold.
for your hair.
It is cold.
It's
Oh,
cold.
see, I love it. I'm hot at night, girl. Menopause. I mean, hey.
Yeah, it's cold, right? Slippery. It's
It is-
slippery.
It is
Yeah,
slippery.
slippery.
It-
Falls
I
Falls
have
off
one
the
that's
floor.
really slippery, and I will say that's maybe not my favorite part
Right,
of it,
right,
but
exactly.
it works. But it's really nice for your hair and your skin and everything. So usually somebody that's wearing hair extensions
Why
or
is it nice for your skin? I don't mean to keep interrupting.
Oh,
but you say
that's
stuff
okay.
and it's like, I
yeah. Well, it's a whole new
clarify it.
world,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
You
Why
know,
is it nice for your skin?
well, if you think of like a regular cotton pillowcase, like it gets kind of wrinkly and crumply, and you wake up in the morning with like lines and like that the sleep marks on your face. Satin and silk pillowcases will not do that.
Oh,
And it's good because it's slippery, your face and your skin and your hair glides across that. So especially for women when they're wearing hair extensions and or wigs, you're not shampooing your hair
Right,
every single
right,
day.
right.
So it's all about really kind of maintaining that, the style, having it so you're not just rolling around in your sleep and wreaking havoc on it.
So how do you wash a wig?
Well, excuse me, a wig you'll take off and you'll wash it in your sink. You have to have special products. I actually have developed my own line of hair products
Wow.
that are safe for natural hair, meaning your bio hair.
Mhm.
They're safe for wigs. They're safe for hair toppers, safe for hair extensions, all of the above. And they're all plant powered. And you just wash it with special stuff. So usually in your sink, you'll get for a wig what's called a head form. And you'll shampoo, you'll condition it. They need a lot of moisture. So you want products that are more moisturizing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put it on this wig form, and a lot of people will let it air dry overnight. Sometimes you will blow dry it, kind of depending upon how much time you have.
You
Andrea,
style it
how-
on the hair
You do,
on the
yes.
thing, and then you put it on. You're all good to
You
go.
do, yes.
So Andrea, how often do you wash yours?
So I wash them about once every, depending on how often, how long I'm wearing it and how often, but usually about every 14 wears is typically how long you
How many
wash
do
it.
you have?
So many.
I probably have about 8 or 9.
Really?
So you
Yeah.
have all different lengths.
All different lengths,
Do you have
all different colors.
Really?
Yes. When I first got into wearing wigs, I was very anxious and nervous that people might be able to notice. So I would make it look like my bio hair. And I do not really suffer from hair loss. I just have fine, thin hair. And so it cost a lot of money and a lot of product to get my hair to look as nice as this does. So I did it just because I'm just into like fashion and looks and fun stuff like that. And to me, like a wig was like an accessory, like, getting my nails
Like a
done.
necklace.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I've been wearing wigs for about 8 years now. And when I first started, I really didn't find anybody that offered a lot of services like this in Minnesota. And that's kind of how I found Lisa after a few years. So,
All right, so we got to go to break.
Yes.
651-775-9194, 651-775-9194. Okay, we're in here with Lisa and Andrea. We're talking wigs.
And extensions.
And extensions. And how do you get what about the wig you take off? Last segment we were talking about cleaning and washing. You take the wig off, wash it in the sink, and put it on the form, and you style it and everything on there, and then you're good to go. You put a dust cover on it in your closet so it doesn't get all dusty, or
I actually have a closet just for my wigs. And
Okay.
I hang them up like you do your pants on a hook.
okay,
Wow.
And I have a whole line of them.
okay.
What do I feel like today?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so before I ask my question about extensions, washing extensions, when you have different wigs and you put a different, do you have different colors?
Yes.
Okay. So do you take on a different personality with that color? I'm
I've
just
never
thinking.
asked her. That's such
I'm
a good
just
question.
thinking, because I probably have 20 suits.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
custom-made suits, tailor-made suits, and when depending on which suit I wear, I do feel differently.
Yeah.
Depending, sometimes they're a little bit,
The purple suit is
Gatsby-ish
different than the
and-
black
and-
suit,
Oh
right?
exactly.
my gosh.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering of the same thing. If you got a color that's a little bit more vibrant, do you feel that way, or is it just like putting a hat on for you?
Yeah, actually, when I put a wig on, I feel more put together and polished. I work from home and I do a lot of video and Zoom meetings, and a lot of times I don't want to get ready and do my hair
Sure.
in the morning, but I want to look presentable, and so I put on a wig. It takes a couple minutes, and it's like, wow, I look like I just stepped out of the salon. So that's pretty amazing. But the funny thing is that my husband loves calling me, FaceTiming me every morning once I'm ready, because
to
he
see.
never knows what
See what he's gonna
woman is
come
going to
home
be
to.
on the other end
Right.
of exactly. So
Right. That's hilarious.
so yeah, definitely, it really has improved my confidence and self-esteem, and yeah, I really it's fun. I enjoy it a lot.
Well, I got to say, thinning hair is a big deal for a lot of people. After 2020, I mean, even more so. That it's, I think you're at the cusp of, the right time to be
Yeah.
doing this, and then you've got the whole cancer patient side of it, and that whole thing. When you help a customer, they bought the really bad wig online or
Yeah.
something, right? And then they come to you.
Yep.
How do they find you, right? Because they can go to Amazon and order the wig, but how do they find you, because it's such a niche?
Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways that people find me, but I do all of the social media, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all of that. I do marketing on there as well. TikTok, I'm on all of them.
Okay, all right.
A lot of word of mouth, for sure.
Do you have any referrals from like any of the cancer treatment centers or anything like that? Because I have to believe that they would be a good source if they're not already.
Yeah. So, I'm kind of just getting started with all of that right
Okay.
now. Andrea's been a huge blessing in my life because she's helped me just pound the pavement and get my word out there and get the name out there and all of that as well. But yeah, definitely. There's different societies and cancer societies and yeah, lots of different
And you're
places
opening a
that
new
way.
salon,
Yes.
and it's your own because
It
right
is.
now you work at another salon.
Yeah,
So you're
well, it is my own. I am currently in my
Oh,
own salon,
okay.
but I'm in a smaller space
Oh,
that's a
got it.
suite.
Got it. Okay.
And so I keep forgetting that you haven't been there.
No, I haven't
for
been
some
there yet.
reason keep thinking that you've seen me there. Don't know why. It's like I've known you forever.
I know, it's crazy.
So I actually, because the demand has been so high and people just will stop by, and in the current space that I'm in, they stop by thinking that they're coming just to a wig shop, like where there's
Oh,
just
okay.
thousands of different wigs and all this stuff. And so what makes, I don't really, how do I say this? I want it to be different where yes, you can walk in but it's more of like a customized service that's special for
You
that
don't have
person.
ready to wear off the rack.
I will eventually as we go down the road and I can get more made and I will have ready to wear. I do have an online store as well. Again, all of this, like you guys are catching me at the beginning, the beginning of the explosion
That's
of
awesome.
the journey. It's amazing. And so I do have that available as well. I just got to get in that new space so I have room to do all these things. And that's why I'm expanding because it's awesome. People will stop by and, they want to talk to me and whatever. And right now, they've got to kind of buzz me and try to find me in this building. And I really want a place that's really comfortable and welcoming and they
So,
can walk into and talk to me.
Have you found the space? Are you
Yeah.
I
in?
do.
Okay.
I'm just right down the road here,
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
So you're in the space. You're in the process of getting it ready. You're building
Yep.
it up.
Couple
or
of
whatever.
weeks.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. Now, I want to go back to that one lady that you showed me the pictures of that had the extensions that were the bad extensions,
Yeah.
and then the amount of hours that you put into
Yes.
the extensions. Tell us that story. I think it's an amazing
Oh
story.
gosh, with hair extensions, it's crazy. So I recently had a gal who, was seeing somebody else, and these hair extensions, she had went from hair as dark as yours up to like the lightest blonde that you can go to in one session by the other stylist. And what ended up
And that's a
happening,
no-no.
That's a huge
Okay.
no-no. You cannot. Yes. Oh,
Okay.
it should take probably a year to do what she did
Oh, wow.
if you're doing it the right way.
Okay.
And what ended up happening is she got what we call a chemical haircut,
Oh, no.
meaning all of her
It broke off.
all of her hair broke off.
Right.
It turned, we call it cotton candy. It gets this cotton candy feeling. It just breaks off. So she ended up basically with like a cap on the top of her head and a mullet underneath. And then she had these hair extensions and they were just matted into her hair like nothing I've ever seen before. It took me 2.5 hours to safely get them out of her hair with minimal cutting. And I had to actually cut some of the pieces out of her hair.
But then
That's
you put
really-
extensions back in.
So I ended up doing the invisible bead extension method, and 3 rows later, a lot of color correcting, and about 11 to 12 hours later, she had a full head of hair.
So when you do color correcting, and not to get into that thing, but
Technical, yeah.
if she went from dark to light and that was
Yeah.
damaging, then isn't going from light back to dark just as damaging?
It's not to go back to dark. We actually didn't go back to dark. Luckily, since the work had already been done and the hair that was still healthy enough, I was able to continue the path of her being brighter, which was her ultimate goal. And I was able to utilize that color and tone it and do some different things to it. And then with the work of the hair extensions really then are able to do the work of what you're doing with the color. So it's able to actually almost offer a protective style for her so her hair can grow back out.
So you have people that embrace the alternative life,
Yeah.
like Andrea has.
Yes.
And then you've got people who I'm guessing are embarrassed and want to keep it a secret. They don't want you
Yeah.
to tell anybody, and they
Yes.
kind of sneak in on that.
Yeah.
Do you find that that's more the people who are cancer patients, or is it just like anybody?
When I started out the journey, starting with the hair extensions part of it, what led me into wigs was because hair extensions isn't a fix-all. If you have hair loss on the top of your head, what ends up happening is it's not able to hide the rows of extensions underneath, which brought me into wigs. And what I realized through the hair extensions and then wigs was that journey was going to be so emotional, and the different people I would meet. For me, I'm a huge empath, and I really take on people's energy. And so, I mean, I would come home at least probably every other week, once a week, with somebody who would just be so emotional and crying in my chair because they were so thankful that I was able to offer them an option that they, hadn't been able to find before.
Is Sheila bringing you down here?
No, not at all. She's
Get
the
outta
best
here. Get
energy.
here.
Oh my
Get
gosh.
outta here.
Yeah, not at all.
All right, I got another question. So with extensions, do you ever put extensions on a wig?
That's what I was going to ask.
That's what I was going to ask Sheila.
I mean, okay, could you? Yes, if you wanted to
But
maybe
really, why would
have
you,
some
though?
colors, but you don't need to.
You just have another wig.
No, you would just buy
Just another wig. Okay.
Well, you would make the wig like you wanted to. I mean,
Yep.
so you wouldn't need the extensions.
Okay, another question quick.
Yeah.
Because we got about a minute. Short hair.
Yeah.
So short hair wig. I got short hair. I want a short hair wig.
Yes.
What do you do about the hairline?
Oh, the hairline's the best part. So we have a thing that's called it's called high definition lace. So it's called a lace front wig.
Okay.
And the lace is a special wig, or a special lace, a special lace on the wig that actually melts into the skin tone of your skin.
Okay.
So it's totally seamless. You don't see it at all. And the hairline is very undetectable. I mean, like Andrea's right now, like if you looked really close, you could actually see where the lace starts. But you really gotta you gotta be right up there, and nobody is gonna be staring at your head that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Hi, how you doing?
yeah, exactly. I mean, if they're doing that to you, I don't know.
Yeah.
Run,
Got
You
another
run
big
far,
Run,
run
right,
far.
right,
Run
exactly.
far and fast.
Exactly.
Okay, we got to head out again. This is Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com. Ourhealthyhomes.com. Check it out. Lots of tabs at the top. Got do-it-yourself classes. Got classes, table talks that you can attend that are coming up. Lots of things going on. Okay, we're with Lisa and Andrea, and we're talking about wigs and hair in general. I got one question about natural wigs. You said realistic wigs, real hair wigs. Do they ever just kind of like wear out? Because the hair it's real hair. So real hair gets brittle and breaks and dries out just like, my hair falls out. I had one that fell out just yesterday. Yeah. Anyhow, so the hair falls out. How about a real hair wig? Does the hair fall out of that as well?
They'll have a little bit of shedding over time.
Shedding.
What usually ends up happening is the ends start to usually kind of give out first because it's not growing out of your hair or out of your scalp.
Okay.
So your natural sebaceous oils that you have in your scalp aren't hydrating it like you normally would. So there's different products and stuff that you
The ends,
use.
you're talking about the
ends, like on Andrea's
long end.
ends
Okay.
of her. Yep.
Do you ever cut it then?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
You get rid
absolutely.
of that? Cut it, take a half inch off?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I have lots of people that do that actually.
So if you have real hair wigs.
Yes, only human hair wigs.
Okay,
Human hair
so
wigs.
Yep.
so then what's the other wigs like
It
made
would
out of them?
be synthetic.
Okay.
Yep. So there's synthetic wigs, which a lot of people will start with those, and some people stay with those, and they make really beautiful ones. The downside with that is I feel like they tend to get a little bit hot because they're plastic. I mean, synthetic ends up being a plastic.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't color them. Heat styling, some offer like a minimal heat styling.
Yeah.
So they kind of are what they are.
Mhm.
So there's not this like option to customize
Yeah.
them the way that you would human hair.
And they typically don't last as long. They start to get kind of frayed.
Okay.
Like if you're brushing up against your collar or things
Oh,
like
sure.
that, it starts to get
Yeah.
kind of ratty looking.
Yep. Gets the little balls on the end.
Yeah,
just like
right.
that.
Yeah, and I
Think of
started.
like Barbie hair.
Yeah, I
Yes.
started that way because they're less expensive. But what I found is over time, I ended up spending more
'Cause you're
on
replacing
the
it.
synthetic by replacing them, and then they have a little bit more shine to them,
Uh,
so they don't look as
Natural.
realistic a lot of times.
How long, the best wig,
Yeah.
the best one that you could come up with?
Yeah.
How long would a wig like that last?
Yeah. So what I tell my clients is if it's something that you're wearing every single day, it's your only wig. I mean, maybe a year.
Okay.
wouldn't you say?
Yeah, if you're wearing it every single day consistently,
Yeah.
you know.
If you have multiple ones, then it could last, 4 or 5 years
Sure.
even maybe. I mean,
and
it
some
depends on
people
how
will
many you
wear it
have.
outside of the home when they go out, and then they'll come home and they might take it off and wear a stocking cap or
Yeah.
pull their hair up. So it
Mhm.
depends on how long each day, and you don't sleep in them either.
Yep.
Okay.
Because you could, I mean, but
people
it's
do.
going to be hard. It would be harder on your wigs. So it's a lot of it is how you care for your wigs. And so the great thing about Lisa is when you come there, you'll get that education too. I think the other thing that's important, what was important to me, is being able to go to a salon and try on wigs,
Mhm.
and then for her to be able to say, "Hey, let's thin this out. Let's," because that's what makes it look
Real.
custom. That's
Mhm.
what makes it look real, and that's the service that she offers that I was having a hard time finding locally.
Okay, so you got client walks in the door and says, "Okay, I need a wig because my hair is falling out." So kind of walk me through the process there. How do you make the selection? What's the conversation like?
Yeah, so usually, I mean, the appointments I have a couple different appointment options. You can either do like a 30-minute consultation with me, and it's a little bit more fast. We measure your head, talk about what you're looking for, maybe try on a wig, maybe not, and just kind of get to know each other, see what I have, that sort of thing. And then I have a luxury consultation where it's an hour and a half consultation. We really try on a bunch of different options, see what's right for you, go over that. We always go over pricing. I love being very transparent I mean, when you see me, everything is out in the open. This is what you're going to get. This is what I'm going to do. This is how much time it takes. This is how much it's going to cost. Everyone knows that. So that's usually how it goes, when you come and visit me.
For a high quality wig, what is the price range?
Yeah. So for a wig, usually my prices are anywhere from probably about the $2,000 range, can go up to like $3,500.
No matter the length.
So length is what makes that
Oh,
price
got it.
difference.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it.
Yep. So shorter the wig, the lower the price. The longer the wig, the higher the price. Longer
Sure,
hair costs
of course.
more.
And then synthetic, if you had synthetic, it's going to
Yep.
be what, 10%, 20% less? Or
I don't even know,
okay,
honestly.
you don't
There,
deal with it.
it's so all over the board.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you could spend anywhere from, I don't know, $40 on one up to
Up to 500.
I was going to say
600.
Okay.
a few,
Yeah,
a few
depending on-
$100.
The
for
problem
good
is
ones.
that a lot of the synthetic ones, like I would order from like wigs.com, I would get it on and I would be like, "Oh, this looks horrible."
Yeah, I'm not going to use it.
And then you
It's
have
wasted.
to pay to ship it back.
Sure.
It's a restocking fee, so there's just a lot that
that goes on
hassle,
with that. Yeah.
And the one thing that you said that I thought was really great to actually one of my guests that was in one day is she goes, is the wig wearing you or are you wearing the wig?
Yeah.
And the goal is
That's
that
really-
you're wearing
yeah.
that wig.
Right.
You don't want to know
Right.
that you're wearing a wig.
Right.
Nobody
Right.
wants
Right.
anyone to know
Yeah.
that they're
Yeah.
wearing a wig.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, you got a new one on today.
It's a very emotional, I mean, there's so much emotion that goes into this. And the reasons why, I mean, I have one gal that shared with me, she has what's called trichotillomania, which is the pulling of your hair.
Okay.
And it's a really serious thing.
That's what you have.
Oh,
No, that's
Yeah.
different. Because
Yeah.
she's pulling my hair.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
are
yeah,
you pulling
yeah,
his
right.
hair?
She's
Yeah,
pulling my
exactly,
hair.
Yep.
Stop
right,
it. Stop
right,
it.
right,
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right.
No, but it's a very emotional thing for
Mhm.
people, and it's something that they're compensating, for like a stress in their life or maybe
Mhm.
a trauma that happened to them, and so. I mean, the stories I hear, it's very emotional, and sometimes we cry together. in my
Exactly. Yeah, I
chair,
can't
and
imagine
it's-
that you
yeah.
don't. Okay, so you told me a story of something that you are going to do, and it's been on my mind. You got a beautiful head of hair.
Thank you.
And what are you thinking about doing with your beautiful head of hair?
So, I actually bought my own self a wig. I want to know what it is like because of all the emotional stories that I hear people tell me. I really feel like until I stand in somebody's shoes, I can't really know what it's like to tell them how to wear a wig, how to wear extensions, how to color your hair a certain way. So I think that's really important. And what I'm going to do in the next couple months is fully shave my head,
Yeez.
completely bald, force myself to wear a wig because I want to know and I want to be able to really speak from a place of heart. And I can actually tell you because I've been there. So I want to really know what that's like to have the certain, troubleshooting things day to day, or worry about going to an event and wondering if everybody's going to know if I'm wearing a wig.
Worrying if the wind is going to blow it off.
Exactly. I own a Jeep, and so I'm going to actually put my top down and let that baby fly and see and prove that they don't fly off in the wind, because it's a question I always get.
Right.
So.
Right. Well,
So how long will it take for your hair to grow back?
Well, your hair on average grows anywhere from a fourth to a half an inch a month. So.
Okay.
Probably a few years to get it back to where it is right now, past my shoulders.
That's a commitment.
that is a
I
commitment.
know.
And it,
But I'm
when
gonna have wigs and they're beautiful.
exactly,
And
right?
That's what I want to show people, that it's,
What if it comes back all white, gray?
Oh, it's going to.
Oh yeah.
You should have seen it before I colored it. I don't even want to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I don't do anything to
You
my
are
hair.
so
I curl, I
blessed.
wash it, I curl it, and that's about it. And it was when you said that you want to go through that journey, I think that's why I'm so good at what I do with people, is because I walked
Yeah.
the journey of that, the health crisis
Yes.
and the things that, the raging candida, the
Mhm.
gut, the not being able to get
Speaking
the weight
from the
off,
heart.
It fires
and
your passion.
yeah, exactly.
your passion.
And all of the things. And so I think that's wonderful. And I know you're going to document it all the way, and you're going to be
Absolutely.
able to see
Follow
your story.
my Instagram page.
What is your Instagram page?
It's everything is under Wigs by Opulence Salon MN.
Well, you better say that again.
I know, Wigs by Opulence Salon MN.
Okay, so you want to go to the YouTube and just watch us on the YouTube. If you're listening on the radio, it's on YouTube right now. And so you can watch on YouTube. Her cell phone number is up on her phone number. I don't know if it's a cell phone or whatever it is. Phone number is up on the screen. But just for the people who are listening now, what's the best way that they get a hold of you or contact?
Yep, they can call or text to my number. That's our business number.
Which
which
is?
is the 612-963-1744.
Okay.
Otherwise, I do have a website, which is, again, it's www.wigsbyopulencesalonmn.com. There's lots of great information on there. I have a great blog with a lot of info. They can contact me anyway.
So your business card
invoice.
has 3 QR codes on it.
Yes.
Where do they go?
One goes to my website, and a couple other ones go to, I think one goes to my, what is it called? Linktree.
Okay.
Okay,
And then I have one for products that I sell as well.
got it.
Yep.
All right. So do you make wigs?
I don't make the wigs.
Okay.
I actually, I developed my own brand of wigs. I have my own manufacturer
Okay.
that makes the wigs for me,
Okay.
and then I customize them when they come into my
Where do
hands.
they get the hair?
That is such a good question. It can really kind of come from anywhere. Can be like a single donation, multiple donations.
Can you
It
do?
just
Do you
depends.
ever have people like Sheila's parents donated their
Yeah.
bodies to science?
Yep.
So when you kick the bucket, Sheila, you can donate your hair.
I can donate my hair. That's
There
the
you
thing. That's that.
It is actually a thing. It's not something that I do, but I do. I have heard of a couple people throughout the United States that they can make wigs
Hook you
with
up.
your human hair.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, we're out of time for this week.
Wow.
This is Our Healthy Home, Opulence Salon, Minnesota. Get yourself a wig, just for
For the
fun.
fun of it.
Just for the fun
Right?
of it.
Right.
Opulence Salon. Check it out. This is Our Healthy Homes, ourhealthyhomes.com, 651-775-9194. The 4 pillars of a healthy home. Live a strong and powerful life. We'll see you next week.
But when he calls me sugar, I love that man with all my might. Sugar in the morning, sugar in the afternoon. Sugar after dinner, sugar in every room. He says I'm sweet as I can be. When he calls me that name, it does things to me. I tell him, honey, you can call me sugar.